Welcome back to the Hive, everybody. Today we have a really cool show. It's about typhoons, and they're really powerful. I actually come from Southern California, and in the Philippines, there's lots of typhoons, and they're really strong, and lots of us don't even know what a typhoon is, so we're going to explain it right now.
Welcome to Mysterious Places and Events, episode 15. And we want to thank you. We got the 300 subscriber mark now. Never thought that would happen. Yeah, you start off and you have like 4 subscribers, and we got over 300. So thank you very much. And we're going to start the blog right now. Today we're going to talk about some mysterious typhoons that I've experienced, and wild ones in the Philippines. Some of the most wild experiences in my life. So we'll talk about that. Here we go. Having been raised in Southern California, I never really experienced what a typhoon was. I only saw them on TV, and they look like pretty scary events. But what a typhoon is, it's a circulating winds going over the water, and it's warm water, and it's a gust of like 74 miles an hour or more, and it just continues to rotate, and it picks up steam, and it kind of hits landfall. Very powerful. And we're going to talk about some typhoons that hit the Philippines. My real baptism to typhoons in the Philippines was November 3rd, 2013. The great and powerful and mighty Yolanda. Yolanda was recorded as the most powerful storm ever to hit the earth. And I was in that one. The winds were like 250 to 275 kilometers an hour, and it was just wild. And the roofs that were blowing from neighbor houses almost hit me in the head. Trees were flying all over. It was like watching a movie like The Wizard of Oz, where the wind is going around, the tornado, and things are flying in the air. And like the Twister, the movie, where the cows are flying in the air. It was like that. It was just amazing, and it was just wild. Yolanda killed like over 6,500 people in Tacloban, where it hit. It just hit with full fury and force. It was just amazing. But it was just a crazy event, and I don't know if I liked it or not, but it was just a different experience. It just wreaked damage all throughout the country, and it affected and hurt many people. A few years later, on December 3rd, 2019, we had the Typhoon Tisoy. Tisoy was a typhoon out in the ocean, and it just kept growing and growing, and then it got degraded as a lower typhoon, and then it came back to another typhoon, and it hit the Philippines. It hit it pretty hard, and I was out in the ocean doing a blog in Tisoy. It was pretty wild, and it was pretty crazy, but not as crazy as the next typhoon on Christmas Day. Ursula is a very bad name. When I heard the name Ursula, I thought this might be a bad typhoon. But I thought, how could it be a typhoon on Christmas Day? How could Santa Claus deliver a horrible typhoon? Well, it happened. Ursula hit the Philippines December 25th of last year, and it was just terrible. The waves out in the ocean were even worse than Yolanda, and the winds and the damage, everything was flying. I was like, Yolanda was the worst typhoon in history, and this seemed like it was worse than Yolanda. I was on the beach blogging, and there was like seats flying out of the boats. It was just wild and crazy. I actually did blog, so if you want to go back on my channel, you can see. It was just so crazy and amazing. Everything, the windows were broken, the roofing was broken, everything was wiped out. And here's my two windows. No more windows. I had a fun time here with Ursula. It was just so powerful. I mean, the winds were probably and it was really terrible. So just had my under roof got torn apart. In my house here, all the under roof got torn down. All the damage was right here. Let's see where, right there. I just piled it all up. It was really strong and it just blew the heck. It was probably the most powerful storm we've ever had. So hopefully not too many people died. It was just crazy. I was holding the windows so they didn't break. I was scared to death. Water was flooding in the houses. It was just amazing. And Ursula was just so crazy. There was no power on the island for weeks and weeks and weeks. No internet, no Wi-Fi. There was just no gasoline. It was just crazy. All the services were gone. There was no money. There was no banks. There was no computer. There was no ATM. Ursula just destroyed the island. Lines were hours for a little bit of gasoline. The gasoline was rationed. It was just crazy. It was just unbelievable. Trees were falling. I drove around the island and I just could not believe the damage. Everywhere was just damaged by the typhoon Ursula. Blogging at Ursula was just wild. A tree fell down and almost killed me. My house, it was just wild. The chairs outside were flying against the window. Windows were broken. So the fury of typhoons are very well implanted in my brain right now, and my memory from Ursula and Yolanda. 2019 was pretty horrible season as far as the typhoons go. And we're in 2020 now, and we hope that 2020 is much, much better. There was just one typhoon here, and it was just a mild tropical storm, so it wasn't too bad. So most of the typhoons come in like November or December, so we have that to look forward to. But we hope 2020 is a better year. Well, that's it. Mysterious Places and Events, episode 15, Typhoons in the Philippines. They are mysterious and they are an event. So hopefully we will not have too many more of those. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We reached the over 300 mark. Really appreciate it. And please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell.
300. Oh, wow. We're going to push 700 now. So things have really changed. And the typhoons are just crazy. And actually, we're going to talk about all three of those typhoons, Yolanda, Tsoy, and Ursula. But actually, one of the greatest, the biggest typhoons to ever hit the earth was Yolanda. And that was November 7th, 2013. And we're going to take a look at that particular typhoon, Yolanda.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you, acting like a fool. I'm on the other side, you're like a full moon, and I'm up.
In 2013, one of the biggest storms ever hit the earth happened in the Philippines, and it was big. It was called Yolanda, and this thing was the most powerful, the most biggest storm, typhoon to ever hit. And we actually had about a few days to prepare for the Yolanda.
I used to be chill, now I can't catch my breath. When you say my name, I feel tight in my chest. Can't handle the space, I need you here by my side. You make me sweat in the coldest of nights, yeah. I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you, acting like a fool. I'm on the other side, you're like a full moon, and I'm up all night, howling at you. Tables have turned. Tables have turned.
They're picking up. There's a lot of birds flying in the sky. As you can see, they're going crazy a little bit right now. They don't know what to do or where to go. And the beach is extremely windy. I'm a little sheltered right now, so that's nice. But you can see by the trees, the palm trees, it's moving a little heavy. And the birds just absolutely going nuts right now. They don't know where to go. Well, different position. There's kind of cockeyes here, and buried in the sand. And last night even wasn't even the storm. The water was extremely rough. And other people are getting ready and preparing right now for securing their boats.
I had a boat on the beach, and lots of people have boats on the beach, and they had to move it all off the water, and they had to tie all the boats down. It was crazy. The wind was gusting at very high speeds, and it was just wild. Everyone's preparing their boats, preparing for the big storm Yolanda.
Tables have turned. Tables have turned.
Yeah, we're about 6 or 7 hours still away from the storm. It's in the Philippines, but it's slowly moving this way. The sky is really dark right now and gray. The winds are coming pretty strong. The tide is really low, but we don't have the rains yet, and it's coming though, and it's going to be coming with quite the vengeance when it comes. I probably won't be on the beach when it hits, so I'll probably be like somewhere really high so I don't get wet. Anyway, it's really getting crazy here. Everybody's getting ready for it. And I'm just here hanging out at the local beach. And got quite damaged by all the seaweed behind me. And really radical tide last night. The waves were pretty bad. So anyways, we'll try. The winds are getting stronger. We're still like about 5 or 6 hours away from the storm. And we haven't even got the storm even by the second. The wind is picking up quite heavily now.
We were given a lot of notice regarding this Yolanda storm that was coming in. And like I say, for a couple of days, the winds were howling, everything was going wild. The The birds were flying wild in the sky, and we knew something very wild was about to happen. You're preparing for the storm. Getting ready. Everybody's buckling down their boats. Me too.
This afternoon coming.
What time's the typhoon coming today?
Maybe 2 o'clock or 4.
2 to 4 o'clock? So we got a few more hours, and then we've got a
10 hours or
few.
morning.
So it's coming. Everybody's working on their stuff, getting ready for it right now. It's about 10:30, 11 here. The wind's blowing quite heavily. We're still 4 or 5 hours from the typhoon, but it's blowing like crazy. The rains are starting, and I had to put my hat back so I could keep it on. It would never stay on my head, but it's really super windy now. The wind's blowing like crazy, and everybody's just getting ready for it. It's intensified in the last 2 or 3 hours, and people are just here just hanging out and seeing what happens. This is a boat. I guess they can't get out of the water, so they're gonna hope and pray that this boat doesn't get messed up during the typhoon. I guess it's supposed to come in about it's not maybe several more hours. So probably 6 to 7 more hours. So we're still a little ways away from the typhoon. This is just the winds blowing in preparation. And the typhoon right now is in Sapphire, and it's still a little ways away. It's moving about 35 miles an hour at the speed of the truck. The winds are, I think, up to 200 miles an hour. People are definitely getting ready for the big one to hit here today. We're getting ready for the typhoon here. The winds are blowing. My hat's gonna blow off any minute. Say hello. Hello. We're blowing like crazy here. Yeah. It's windy and crazy. We're blowing away into the sky. Just having fun. Oh, it's blowing like crazy here. Several hours from there. As you can see, the trees are really blowing heavy right now. It's a low tide, and the winds are quite aggressive right now. It looks like the winds are my iPad right now. We're going to be secure as much as we can. There's my anchor and my boat over there. It's going to be one crazy summer. Everybody's getting ready. It's going to get me a few hours to get ready, but the winds are crazy. The winds are really blowing. When Yolanda hit, the winds were going like 150, 175 miles an hour. It was just crazy. There was things flying in the air. It reminded me like the Wizard of Oz, where there was like cows flying and there was things in the sky. The roofs were flying. The earth was falling down. They're flying. Everything. The whole place is just wild. The wind gusts are just insane, blowing like crazy. It's really nuts. I've never seen anything like it. I can barely walk. That was definitely the largest storm I ever saw, and it was the largest storm that ever was recorded in history. Where the storm hit in Tacloban, there was like 4,500 people or more died in that storm. It hit with a fierce and it just blew all the houses down. It killed thousands of people. That storm was incredible. That's it, Yolanda. That thing was fierce, that was mean, and it just ripped the whole island apart. It took us about a month to be able to get Wi-Fi, electricity. There was no power, there was no gasoline. Everyone was buying gasoline with their generators. The lines were miles long. There was no banks, no ATM, no money. It was just a wild situation. And Yolanda just ripped the whole country apart. And then it took a long time to rebuild after Yolanda. That's it, 2013 Yolanda. We will never forget that typhoon. It was just wild. And it actually went down in the record books as the largest storm ever to hit the earth. That was pretty big, I must say. And I was in that storm blogging, and I was lucky to be alive. So thank you so much for watching the blog on Yolanda. It was a fierce and nasty storm. Incredible. And it was never to be repeated again, and hopefully never will. So thank you so much for watching the blog today of Yolanda. So please like, share, subscribe, and always ring that bell. Yeah, about 6 years later, they had some more storms. They had two big typhoons about 6 years later in 2019. The first one was the beginning of December, and then the second one was Christmas Day. But the first one was named Tsoy, and Tsoy means a white foreigner visiting or something. It's a boy's name, and usually when there's a boy's name with a typhoon, it's not as bad as the woman's name. But the first one is Tsoy, and we were on the beach on Tsoy, and we were talking all about Typhoon Tsoy.
It's December 1st, 2019, and we're getting ready for the Typhoon Tsoy coming. It was Kamari, but they changed its name when it got to the Philippines to Tsoy. So that's the name that we're gonna say, Tsoy. And we're here in Iligan Beach, beautiful Iligan Beach in Boracay, and we're waiting for the typhoon to come. And it's very beautiful. They have a bat cave here, a really nice bat cave over here. And so anyways, the typhoon is like 800 and something kilometers out of the Philippines right now, and it's coming this way. It's moving about 15 knots an hour, and it's about 800, like I say, 850 kilometers away. Yesterday it was like 1,050, and today it's only 850. And it's coming, they say maybe by tomorrow we'll have rainfall, and then the eye of the storm will hit on Tuesday morning, all throughout Tuesday. It's going to hit in Luzon, Samar, and a few other places, Bicol, and it's going to hit Bicol region, and it's going to really be strong. They say it's going to be a signal 1 alert, which is a very strong. It's actually gone up to a super typhoon now. So yesterday they downgraded it to a typhoon, strong typhoon, and today they upgraded it to a super typhoon. So let's see what happens here. But we're here at Iligan Beach, beautiful Iligan Beach. It's very beautiful, and we're gonna get ready for the super typhoon here, and it's gonna hit tomorrow, this area, the room bloom chain, there are going to be heavy rains on and off all throughout the region. And then on Tuesday is when the storm is going to hit all day. It's going to be very powerful. So we're here on a beautiful sunny day before the storm hits. It's very beautiful. So the storm is coming, the typhoon. It's a super typhoon, and we hope it's going to be about 150 knots an hour. So it's going to be pretty fast. I think the people who get hit first are really going to be like damaged. So it's going to be really bad. So we're getting ready here for the super typhoon to hit. It's windy today, but it's sunny, and that's the way it is every typhoon. It's very sunny, windy, and then boom, you know, typhoon hits. So anyways, we're here.
We're here in the typhoon. And actually what I do as a hobby before they start regulating the beaches, I used to go typhoon surfing for fun, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go a little typhoon surfing in the ocean.
The typhoon, the waves just break really abnormal. They're really hard to catch because they're just breaking like a monster. Stand up real good. Here's one. There you go. The ocean has a real anger. That's the anger right there. The ocean's a very dangerous place. You must respect the ocean. The ocean will respect you. The ocean's a very dangerous place. We're here in the waters of Boracay. Woo! Getting smashed. It's always fun. Getting wiped out. The water today is just angry. It's really mad. The water just wants to kill somebody. You're not gonna get me, pal. The water's breaking like wild. Usually in typhoon weather, the water is just angry. There's a nice wave. This water is like brutal today.
Yeah, it's a typhoon. It should be brutal. That's terrible. And I do not recommend anybody to go typhoon surfing. It's fun, but it's really dangerous. And stay out of the water, okay? Don't be stupid. And the typhoon was really strong. The story was really strong. It came with a fury.
We're here at the beautiful beach in Boracay 2019, and typhoon, the rain start, it's really a kilometer wide and 800 yesterday. Yesterday it was moving at 50 in Boracay. I'm gonna do some, oh, but not today. And so faster, it was like 100 and the Bico area region wiped out soon. and the surges are going to be like 3 meters or like 9 or 10 feet. So the typhoon is bigger and bigger, and faster and faster. Tasoi is going to be very big, but it's raining a little bit started. Yesterday it was so beautiful, and I'll get the windsurfing guy part. So we're getting ready for tonight. All throughout December 3 is going to be a great day. Stay dry and the wind. So have a good day. Woo! Here in Boracay, getting ready for the typhoon. It's December. Getting ready for the tonight, tomorrow morning, and all day. Get a blanket of rain in like 5 minutes or less. Beautiful. I said, don't let the bank, and the guy said, oh, it's a beautiful weather. They make you think that there's no typhoon, and then you're like, well, it's not really that bad. 80 kilometers an hour when they hit the shore, and maybe when they get here they'll be around 100 or so. And I think I'm gonna go get dry. We have it right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're gonna go get out of here. So people are leaving the beach. All the people on the beach, like, no, it's changing and got wild. So
What did he say? I don't know what he said that whole time. And the Tasoi hit. It really hit with a vengeance. It was really strong. That Tasoi was a monster. And I happened to be in the dock. They had this floating dock in Boracay, like station 2 or 1 or something. And it was crazy. The little boys were jumping off the dock, and the security guard, the policemen were like, hey, you guys got to get off this dock. It's not, they were getting yelled at. But I was out there, but I didn't get yelled at, and it was crazy. The water was just mad.
December 3rd, 2019, Typhoon Tasoi. Here we are in Boracay, getting blown away in the water. No swimming. I'm not going to swim right now. The typhoon is raging out here. The wind is going wild. The ocean is just nuts. So this is what we get when we get to typhoon. It's just crazy. And the kids got kicked off by the police for not following the sign. It said, stay off the bridge. Stay off. And they did stay off. So we're here with the Boracay. Typhoon is raging very strong. And we're just having a good time here. I'm trying to find the sunny day, but there's no sunny day today. And there's no sunbathers on the beach. It's like empty. And I think they didn't speak English. They didn't know what I was talking about. There's a typhoon going on. It's called Typhoon. We're here. There's a few beach walkers here behind me. They're braving the typhoon, and it's pretty fun. People just hanging out here, walking around, enjoying the typhoon weather. It's pretty wild out here. I like it. And the wind is blowing very heavy. I don't have a windometer. I don't know how heavy, but it's blowing good. And we're just having a good time here on the beach in the middle of the typhoon. I'm trying to find my shoes. Where are they? Oh, they're up here. Here we are, enjoying the day with the typhoon Tasoi. It's pretty good. It's a good typhoon, okay? It's good. It's not bad at all. Woo! Nice typhoon. Nice one. on the back beach. Like, it's just like a typhoon. Everything is just going in a circle, raging everywhere. I like that one. The typhoons are pretty fun though, I have to say. People get scared of the typhoons, but they're kind of a lot of fun, really. Like, they're cool. So we're at the beach with Typhoons in Boracay, December 3rd, 2019. Woo!
Stay in your house when they have a typhoon. Do not go out in the ocean. That's crazy. And actually, out of the 3 typhoons that we're talking about, Yolanda, Tusoy, and Ursula, Tusoy was actually the most mellow of the 3, the most nicest. And the day after Tusoy, we walked around and everything was like normal, like it never hit. Actually, in the Philippines and the whole region, it's been happening for thousands of years. So when these things hit, it rebounds really fast.
We're here in Boracay, where I was yesterday, like 24 hours ago, and there was a huge typhoon. There was nobody on the beach. There's lots of people today. Lots of people, scuba divers, island hoppers, everything. And just like 24 hours later, it's like nothing ever happened. So that's the way it is on like the island, is that you have a monster typhoon. Look at the docks, they're hardly moving, just a little. And in 24 hours, everything like goes good. So this is Boracay, in the same spot I was when they had the big typhoon. And there's just nothing. There's just a small water. The people are going scuba diving. I'm sitting on the dock now that you could not sit on yesterday. Like, get off the dock. Well, there's no sign here. Everything's okay. Lots of people. That's how like the island is. It's really resilient. One day it's a typhoon, and then the next day everyone's scuba diving. The boats are out. The Coast Guard let everybody go on the ocean. So look at the trees. They're not even moving. Everything looks good. So the typhoon was pretty good, but it recovered real fast, and everything is back to normal pretty much. So that's the way it is on island life, and we're having fun here in Boracay. Woo, getting ready for the summer. December is like the last typhoon month of the year, and then January starts getting good. February, March, you know, it gets real good. So we're here in Boracay enjoying the nice day. Beautiful day. And the people are having fun with their children. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, everyone's having a good time. We thought that the typhoon season was over, and then December 25th hit, and they had a really big typhoon called Ursula, and it actually came. I was hanging out at the mall, at the city mall, and the typhoon hit. We thought there was going to be nothing, but we were wrong.
So the typhoon's coming tonight, and everybody's getting ready for it. Are you ready for the typhoon?
Yeah.
Getting ready. Oh, we're getting ready for typhoon. The barangay people are yelling, announcing the typhoon's coming. If you're near the beach, like, buckle down. It's supposed to be really crazy tonight. So we're getting ready for Ursula, and we're gonna go out in the typhoon tomorrow, and we're gonna see what's happening out there. We're gonna vlog that thing at the beach. We're gonna be there. Maybe I'll get my surfboard and do some typhoon surfing. Okay, dear, nice to see you. Woo. So let's see what happens with Ursula. It's supposed to be really strong and supposed to be powerful. I hope nobody gets hurt, and everybody's getting ready for it here in Boracay. We're getting ready for some Christmas music, right? Christmas music, and just having fun. Christmas. We're bringing Christmas with a typhoon. What kind of thing? They say if it's a girl's name, it's going to be more powerful. Like Yolanda was more powerful than like the men's. And Tusoy, I guess, is not it's a man's name, I guess, but it means white foreigner or something. But Ursula is a woman's name, so they say it's going to be very powerful. It's almost hitting us now. Today we had on and off rains and winds, so
it's coming strong, and it'll be here tonight in a couple more hours. We're gonna start the typhoon and go for the next day or two, so get ready. Woo! Merry Christmas with Ursula. I mean, Christmas. I thought Santa Claus was supposed to come and bring presents, and we got Ursula just a few weeks after Tsoy.
For my land, the arm for my hand, I am yours without command. I will always take a stand for me and you. I am true and will never, ever, ever try to make you blue. And if I do, can we forgive and forget? Can we ignore the upset? Cause I can promise you that life is short but beautiful. And if we connect and be dutiful about keeping our words full of love, keeping our actions consistently above and beyond, rising at dawn to make sure that you're still there.
Do not go in typhoons. Actually, I had a tree that almost fell on my head. It was dangerous. I said, I gotta go home. It's getting wild out here. I mean, the flooding, everything was crazy. And Ursula turned out to be a really bad storm. It was the worst typhoon, and she was mean. That thing was crazy. And I think the next scene is where the tree almost fell down and hit me in the head. I mean, I almost died on that. You got to stay in the house and be safe during these typhoons. And thank goodness we haven't had a major typhoon since Ursula, but this was a really bad storm. what was weird about Ursula is that it actually just hit the Boracay area really hard. And then a lot of the other areas, the regions in the Philippines, didn't get hit that hard. But actually, Ursula, which was good, it didn't hit as many places as Yolanda, but Ursula hit so powerful. Actually, it hit almost harder than Yolanda, or the same. So that was interesting. Yolanda actually hit the whole Philippines, which was really bad. But Ursula seemed to kind of focus on Boracay, and it damaged my house. It just broke windows, took tiles down. Ursula was really mean.
Today I'm going to show you some damage that happened to my house from Ursula. She was very bad. And here's some damage from Ursula. I think we've ever had here. And here's my two windows. No more windows. I had a fun time here with Ursula. It was just so powerful. I mean, the winds had damage and it was really terrible. So just had damage. Under roof got torn apart, and my house here, all the under roof got torn down. All the damage is right here. Let's see where, right there. I just piled it all up. It was really strong, and it just blew the heck. It was probably the most powerful storm we've ever had. So hopefully not too many people died, because that thing was cleaning, and I've been cleaning for like, now this is day 2 after all over the windows. There's like stuff all over, blown around. It's really crazy. It was actually harder than most people expected. And it actually got so strong that it was 30 knots an hour when it was coming. So everyone's like, oh, it's just a rainstorm. Warm water up. But as it got intensified and became what happened really horrible, because it wasn't announced for a long time that it was going to be that terrible storm. So nobody expected it this big, but
Oh, it was crazy, that particular storm, and it just knocked out the power. It just destroyed the island. It was, like I say, worse than Yolanda. That thing was just horrible. And, just the day after, I went ahead and walked around the island. I mean, the power was out for weeks. I mean, this was a devastating storm.
the typhoon snuck up on everybody. Nobody knew that typhoon was going to be here, and that was part of the damage right there, as everyone was like in shock that the typhoon came here. And it was really a surprise. I knew it was coming, and they were warning people on the loudspeaker, but nobody had any idea, including me, how big this typhoon really would be. It was just insane big. And thank goodness everyone hopefully is still alive. There's just massive damage everywhere, and all communications has been cut off with the world. So hopefully we can like take a trip and go somewhere where there's Wi-Fi, but who knows? The islands really got destroyed everywhere. There's massive destruction, and it's just really unbelievable what's happened here. So nobody expected it, and it happened. So we're luckily that most of us are safe, and the boats seem to be operating, so that's good. So have a good day.
But if you don't believe that yourself, well, you won't find gold in the dark of the place. But if you don't believe
Yolanda and Ursula just knocked out all communication, because a lot of the wires are in the ocean for like the Wi-Fi and the telecommunication, and people hadn't heard from me for weeks and weeks, and they said, "Are you still alive?" Because it was really terrible, and we had no power for weeks. We had nothing. I mean, it was just crazy.
island, but they just destroyed all communications, just destroyed it. Unbelievable amount of damage. Probably the worst amount of damage any storm has ever done. It was just amazing. And like I say, a guy said maybe months before we get communication. So I'm going to try to post this video somewhere. Maybe I'll travel, try to find some Wi-Fi somewhere, but it's just completely insane, you know, what's happened here. And the gasoline stations has long lines for gasoline for the generators. And it's a beautiful day after the storm, but oh my gosh, what a storm it was. There's just trees everywhere, destruction of lines everywhere. It's just like one of the worst typhoons you could ever experience, and we just had that one. I tried to warn everybody, but you know. The typhoon did is that caused the whole island to go on a brownout, blackout. And there's all these gasoline cans, people waiting to get gasoline to power their generators. And there's no gasoline, there's no communications at all in the world. There's no internet, there's no cell phones, nothing. So all these people are waiting so they could get some power, use their generators. Hello. And the whole island is on a brownout for like 2 days now. So how many days is it gonna be? Who knows? It's gonna be a long time. We're in a complete shutdown in Boracay.
Yeah, complete shutdown in Boracay. That's not fun. It's not nice to be totally blacked out of the world for a long time. And it was just crazy. People were really hungry. I mean, all the ATM machines were down because of there's no power. And they couldn't use the ATM machines. People had no money. People were really having a bad time. And it was just crazy. I actually went to go get some money. There was one ATM machine on the island, and the line was like a mile long. And we have a bird here. And so I just went ahead and waited in that line because, you know, everybody had only one ATM machine to wait. And we had to just sit in line forever. And we went ahead and we blogged that line at the ATM machine. I think it was Metro Bank there, down on Station 1 in Boracay. December 29th, welcome to Boracay, the island with no power. No power, right? No power? Oh, no power. Has no power. There's generators everywhere, and we're waiting in line for the bank because there's no money ever anywhere. The Typhoon Ursula caused lots of trouble, right? Lots of trouble, yeah? There's total brownout in Boracay right now, and there's a generators going across the street, and there's only 2 banks on the island that have ATM machines, and they're both Metro Bank over here. And this is one of the problems with the typhoon, is that it caused all the power on the island to go out. All the poles going to the island, many of them are down, so it's going to be a long time before the power resumes. So there's a line here. It's like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and there's people lining up for the ATM. Yesterday it was like 200 people in line or more. So the smart people decided to like come here early and to get in line and get the money before, because there's no way to get money on the island. And we saw the gasoline was a problem. Everything's on generators.
So the Typhoon Ursula caused lots of trouble, right? Lots of trouble, yeah? I think people were waiting like 3 or 4 hours yesterday to get like money. People don't have money and they have no way to access the money. And so the ATM machine here is one of the only ways. When the storm hit, a lot of the foreigners were stuck because they had no money and they're gonna go to the ATM machine and there's no ATM machine.
Just a minor difficulty. No money, no banks, no computers, no nothing. And it was really crazy day. And people just had to survive the best they could, maybe borrowing from their neighbors, their friends. And it was just really crazy. And that actually was, thank goodness, was really the last major storm, was 2019. That was Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. We had Ursula. That was not a good Christmas present that year. Actually, I had like many inches of water flooding my house, and I was working hard all day, paling buckets of water out of the house, broken windows, broken like tile parts underneath my eaves. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, I kept saying like, this is Christmas and what am I doing? It was really, really bad. I mean, Ursula was really one of the worst, but the worst storm in recorded history was Yolanda, and Yolanda was really crazy.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control on the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool. I'm on the other side, you're like a full moon, and I'm up.
In 2013, one of the biggest storms ever hit the earth happened in the Philippines, and it was big. It was called Yolanda, and this thing was the most powerful, the most biggest storm, typhoon to ever hit. And we actually had about a few days to prepare for the Yolanda.
I used to be chill, now I can't catch my breath. When you say my name, I feel tight in my chest. Can't handle the space, I need you here by my side. You make me sweat in the coldest of nights, yeah. I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool. I'm on the other side, you're like a full moon, and I'm up all night, howling at you. Tables have turned. Tables have turned.
They're picking up. There's a lot of birds flying in the sky. As you can see, they're going crazy a little bit right now. They don't know what to do or where to go. And the beach is extremely windy. I'm a little sheltered right now, so that's nice. But you can see by the trees, the palm trees, it's moving a little heavy. And the birds just absolutely going nuts right now. They don't know where to go. Well, different position. There's kind of cockeyed here, and it's buried in the sand. And last night it wasn't even this warm. The water was extremely rough. And other people are getting ready and preparing right now for securing their boats.
I had a boat on the beach, and lots of people have boats on the beach, and they had to move it all off the water, and they had to tie all the boats down. It was crazy. The wind was gusting at very high speeds, and it was just wild. Everyone was preparing their boats, preparing for the big storm Yolanda.
Tables have turned. Tables have turned.
Yeah, still away from the storm. It's hit the Philippines, but it's slowly moving this way. The sky is really dark right now and gray. The winds are coming pretty strong. The tide is really low, but we don't have the rains yet, and it's coming though, and it's going to be coming with quite the vengeance when it comes. I probably won't be on the beach when it hits, so I'll probably be like somewhere really high so I don't get wet. Anyway, it's really getting crazy here. Everybody's getting ready for it. And I'm just here hanging out at the local beach, and got quite damaged by all the seaweed behind me, and really radical time last night. The waves were pretty bad. So anyways, we'll try.
We were given a lot of notice regarding this Yolanda storm that was coming in. And like I say, for a couple of days, the winds were howling, everything was going wild, the birds were flying wild in the sky, and we knew something very wild was about to happen. They're preparing for the storm, getting ready. Everybody's buckling down their boats. Me too.
This afternoon coming.
What time's the typhoon coming today?
Maybe 2 o'clock or 4.
2 to 4 o'clock? So we got a few more hours, and then we've got
10 hours or
a few.
morning.
So it's coming. Everybody's working on their stuff, getting ready for it right now. It's about 10:30, 11 here. The wind's blowing quite heavily. We're still 4 or 5 hours from the typhoon, but it's blowing like crazy. The rains are starting, and I had to put my hat back so I could keep it on. It would never stay on my head. But it's really super windy now. The wind's blowing like crazy, and everybody's just getting ready for it. It's intensified in the last 2 or 3 hours, and people are just here just hanging out and see what happens. This is a boat. I guess they can't get out of the water, so they're gonna hope and pray that this boat doesn't get messed up during the typhoon. I guess it's supposed to come in about it's not maybe several more hours. So probably 6 or 7 more hours. So we're still a little ways away from the typhoon. This is just the winds blowing in preparation. And the typhoon right now is in Samar, and it's still a little ways away. We're moving about 35 miles an hour at the speed of what we run. The winds are, I think, up to 200 miles an hour. People are definitely getting ready for the big one to hit here today. We're getting ready for the typhoon here. The winds are blowing. My hat's gonna blow off any minute. Say hello. We're blowing like crazy here. Yeah. It's windy and crazy. We're blowing away in the PI. Just having fun. Oh, it's blowing like crazy here. Several hours from as you can see, the trees are really blowing heavy right now. It's low tide, and the winds are quite aggressive right now. It looks like we're going to my iPad right now. Yolanda hit, the winds were going like 150, 175 miles an hour. It was just crazy. There was things flying in the air. It reminded me like the Wizard of Oz, where there was like cows flying and there was things in the sky. The roofs were flying. The earth was falling down.
Things are flying. Everything. The whole place is just wild. The wind gusts are just insane. Blowing like crazy. It's really nuts. I've never seen anything like it. I can barely walk.
That was definitely the largest storm I ever saw. And it was the largest storm that ever was recorded in history. Where the storm hit in Tacloban, there was like 4,500 people or more died in that storm. It hit with a fierce, and it just blew all the houses down. It killed thousands of people. That storm was incredible. That's it, Yolanda. That thing was fierce, that was mean, and it just ripped the whole island apart. It took us about a month to be able to get Wi-Fi, electricity. There was no power, there was no gasoline. Everyone was buying gasoline with their generators. The lines were miles long. There was no banks, no ATM, no money. It was just a wild situation, and Yolanda just ripped the whole country apart, and then it took a long time to rebuild after Yolanda. That's it, 2013 Yolanda. We will never forget that typhoon. It was just wild. And it actually went down in the record books as the largest storm ever to hit the earth. That was pretty big, I must say. And I was in that storm blogging, and I was lucky to be alive. So thank you so much for watching the blog on Yolanda. It was a fierce and nasty storm. Incredible. And it was never to be repeated again, and hopefully never will. So thank you so much for watching the blog today of Yolanda. So please like, share, subscribe, and always ring that bell. Yeah, ring that bell. My hair's all messed up. That was a terrible typhoon, and hopefully we'll never have one of those again. And actually, I never experienced typhoons until I was in the Philippines, and the fierceness and the power and the majesty of the earth, of the power of typhoons, is unbelievable, because where I was raised, I didn't really have typhoons, so I didn't really know what that was about. I seen them on TV. They have hurricanes in Florida, typhoons in the Philippines and in Asia. But until you actually experience being in a typhoon, you really don't know how bad it really is. And the power, the majesty of Mother Nature is very, very strong. And it's just incredible. I mean, it just blows you away. So you must respect the nature, because typhoons are very, very powerful. And if people tell you to go in the house or stay away, you should probably respect that, because there's falling trees, there's telephone poles, there's all kinds of disasters that happen during a typhoon. And today, actually, we talked about the three typhoons, the Yolanda, the Tusoy, and the Ursula, and they were all three pretty bad. I think if I ranked them in typhoon order, it'd be Tusoy was probably the weakest of the three. And then actually, Yolanda hit the whole country. It was big. It was one of the largest typhoon sizes ever, and it hit really powerful. I mean, there was roofs flying at my head, and I was ducking, and the big pieces of roof were going to cut my head off. So I mean, it was wild. There was things like swirling in the air. It was pretty unbelievable. And actually, during Ursula, it was really bad too. I had lawn chairs out in my patio, big heavy ones. They were blowing off, going into the window. So I went out in the middle of Ursula in my house, and I swear I thought I was going to be taken off the deck. I mean, it was just so strong. I could barely move. I was laughing actually because the power was so strong, and I'm not really a light guy, and the power was just incredible on the Ursula too. So they said that Ursula didn't hit the whole country. It just kind of, I don't know, it kind of funneled in a one direction, and it hit us with full force and fury, and maybe even harder than Yolanda, which is really hard to believe. So it was really crazy. And this past year or so, we had no typhoons. So that was really good. We're supposed to have a typhoon last week or so, and everyone was getting ready, and then nothing. The typhoon was coming, and then it turned. So thank goodness for that, because we don't like typhoons, really. And you should stay out of the typhoons. And I'm kind of nervous about typhoons. I probably won't do too many bloggings unless I have my new GoPro. Maybe I'll go do that one again. But it's pretty crazy. It's fierce. It's dangerous. Trees fall on you. They will kill you. I mean, power lines fall and they will kill you. I mean, everything is just wild. So I hope you enjoyed the show of the typhoons. I never experienced that until I was in Asia, and it's really unbelievable. So thank you so much. And actually, they have nice days too, mostly nice days. But with the nice days come a little bad too, right? Nothing's perfect. So thank you so much for hanging out with us and typhoons, and just, it was really a good time. So thank you for sharing your time with us and learning a little bit about typhoons. I learned a little bit about them, like being baptized, just going into typhoons. And it was kind of a lot of fun, and it was really scary at the same time. So I don't know what's better. It's scary, but we must always be careful with the typhoons. So thank you so much for hanging out with us in the Hive, and we appreciate you joining us. We have a show coming up tomorrow night with Greg Hazara. He's a famous 1960s, 1970s Speedway motorcycle rider. Greg is a really cool guy, and so you won't want to miss that show with Greg Hazara. He was good. He had a brother named Bruce. They were just really great riders. So hang in there. Join us tomorrow night for the Greg Hazara show. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Take care, and always be safe.